All right, you guys, welcome. Um, we're gonna talk about the Pisces new moon. We're gonna talk about a bunch of different things. I'm very excited. Um, I actually have not been as excited about a new moon as I am about this one in a long time. And it's not even for any specific, like it is for a specific thing, but I just feel like I just can feel it, you know? I really can feel what's going on with this one. And I don't always, you know. Um, yeah, Jules. Jules is a Pisces. We're gonna go through at the end if you guys know your rising signs, and we'll be able to look at what house this is all happening for you. And it's fun to just see the area of life that's being affected. And so anytime there's a new moon, the sun and the moon, they're together, they're conjunct. So the moon is dark because it's so close to the sun. So it's just a double emphasis of that energy. So the solar and lunar energy combined in one sign, in one house, wherever that house is for you. Um, so it's like a more concentration of the Pisces energy as opposed to a full moon, which is more balancing. So you guys, this Pisces, oh, I think Frida popped out. We'll put her back in. This Pisces new moon is the beginning of eclipse season with the nodes that have just shifted over into Pisces and Virgo. It's the ending, you could say, of the astrological year because Pisces is the end of the year if you're looking at through astrology's lens because the beginning would be in the spring in Aries. It's sort of the ending of the Neptune cycle that was 14 years. This is the last Pisces new moon that has Neptune and Saturn both still in Pisces before they shift into Aries. So it's also the end of the Saturn's cycle. And it's not even just the one cycle of um of being in Pisces. It's the whole cycle of how long it takes for that planet to go from Aries all the way through Pisces. So it's even more significant when we're talking about Pisces because it's not just one cycle in Pisces, it is the completion of a much larger thing. So for Neptune, and we'll go into this a little bit more in a minute, but for Neptune, it's the end of a 168-year cycle. So it's starting over again in Aries. And for Saturn, it's the end of about 30-year cycle, because that's how long Saturn takes to go around. Um, and then for the sun, it's just the end of the year. So there's a lot of ending energy and thus a lot of beginnings. And yeah, well, let's talk about Pisces a little bit. Pisces is the dreamer. It is the visionary. It is a water sign. It's a mutable water sign, so it's actually very changeable and it is very spiritually connected. There's a high intuitive ability when we're talking about Pisces or really any of the water signs. There's a more prone to tapping into that intuition. Um, and Pisces is also, again, just in general about endings and beginnings. It is the spirit world. It's like where we go after we die, where we come from before we're born. And it's the mystery of life. It's all about what we don't know that we don't know, the hidden, unseen things, the energetics behind everything that exists. Um, so, with that being said, and I have like a bunch of notes because there's just so much. Woo! So yeah, I'm gonna reference my notes because I also want to talk about the gene keys and human design piece as well. I think it's really, really good for this one too. Um, so yeah, again, we're kicking off eclipse season with this Pisces new moon. Next month, we're gonna have two eclipses in Virgo, and then we're gonna have our last Aries eclipse for that cycle, closing out that cycle in March. There's a lot going on in March. March is also when Neptune first dips into Aries. It's gonna go back when it goes retrograde. But we're kind of getting this like, okay, get ready. get ready because things are shifting. So you better just get rid of the ending of that thing, whatever it is. It needs to hurry up and finish because we got a whole lot of new energy that's going to come in and flood in to reality. And if you're holding on to stuff that was supposed to be let go of, you are going to be overwhelmed. You're going to have way too much on your plate. You're not going to know what's going on. You're going to feel really unsettled. So I think a really key theme is knowing what you need to let go of, what patterns you need to let go of. And it's going to be pretty obvious to you. You know, we have a sense in our life usually of what is working, what's not working, things that are coming up at this time to be dealt with. You don't have to go digging and searching to try to find something. It's already right there. So just go with your heart and your intuition and your guidance as to what's right in front of you that is like, okay, this is closing out, and then just let it close out. Um, it's going to be really important for this year. We have so much Aries energy coming in. We're getting rid of a lot of the watery energy, and we're getting rid of a lot of the earth energy. So it's going to be a lot of fire and air, and it's going to feel very different. It's just going to feel extremely different. So being prepared for that by just not feeling the need to restrict into too much. You know, that was very earth. It was very like, we are solid and stable. It's like, let the things, like, let that free feeling take hold. And we're seeing this as well with the nodes being the north node's now in Pisces, and the south node is in Virgo, which is kind of still containing that earth and water element within all of this fire and air that is coming. But the earth element is in the south node, which is not that you need to completely eliminate it, but it's not necessarily something you want to stay within and run into and like hide behind. We want to, sorry, I was getting distracted by this background noise. I have like a sensitivity with sound, but we want to remember that if we go too much into these earth-like tendencies that we've been quite familiar with, as we've had a lot of these background slow-moving planets in earth signs, like we had Pluto in Capricorn for so long. We had Uranus is in Taurus, which it's leaving soon. And we've kind of gotten used to these like very structured, solid, grounded energies. But with the south node in Virgo, it's like we need to not stay away from, not get stuck in the solidity. We need to be okay with fluid motion. We need to be okay with things that are very quickly changing. Yeah, so that's just an important thing to remember. Like, you don't have to try to go out and make change happen in this time. Change is going to come to you, and it probably already is, and you just need to know when to go and when to stay and when to lean forward and when to fall back. And you have to follow your heart. You have to follow your intuition and the guidance that you're always getting from God, or from spirit, and just know that that guidance is always there. It's literally always there. And if you're not hearing it, you just maybe you need to get outside. Maybe you need to like take a couple deep breaths. Just really like maybe tune out certain things. You have to find what that way is for you to get connected to that voice. It might not even be a voice, but the knowing, whatever way it comes in for you, and follow it. And don't ask questions, because Pisces is like, you don't even need to know why. You're not going to know why. Don't try to know why, because if you keep trying to know why, you're going to go crazy, because it's impossible. It's the mystery of life. And it'd be so boring if we knew why all the time, you know? So it's okay. All right. So let's see what we have here. Let's talk about the gene key and the human design gate for this degree point in Pisces. It is gate and key 37. So we'll talk about the human design one first because it's a little more brief. This is located in the solar plexus, which is the emotions, which makes sense because it's Pisces and emotional, so we're in that emotional thing. And it connects to the ego center in human design. This is called the gate of friendship and family. Isn't that nice? So this is an energy about friendship and family. And it's essentially saying that your friends are your family. Your family is your friends. We are all connected. We're all a big family here on Earth together. How can we make that our reality? It's the emotional connection that makes bonds with each other and about taking care of each other like we're family, because we are family. We're all earthlings. We're all here together. And if the whole world lived like that, wouldn't it be a completely different place? It would be amazing. So that's the emphasis. Now, the fear for this gate is a fear of tradition. This is what Ra says in human design. The fear of getting trapped or living in traditional tribal role that doesn't feel aligned. And you'll notice when we go into the gene key how it ties into these roles, these masculine and feminine roles that we play. And it's about with the fear, it's about not being able to meet the expectations that are attached to those traditions, because we never want to feel less than. We want to feel like we can do what we want to do. And this is a sort of stepping away from this traditional way of society has operated for such a long time and moving into this more equal society, which is what we're going to talk about in the gene keys. And I wanted to say, because this is all about these bonds, when we give, we receive. And it's this equal giving and receiving energy. So let's talk about the gene key. The series, the pattern that we go through, the transformation is from the shadow of weakness to the gift of equality to the city of tenderness. Okay, and this gene key is called family alchemy. Isn't that so cool? And this is part of the codon ring of divinity, which is connected to the true meaning of Christ consciousness. So that's something just to keep in your mind with this gene key. What's like unconditional love for everybody, for humanity. And talking about the shadow of weakness, this is all about balancing the masculine and feminine energies within us and outside of us, because we might look at one being weaker than the other. And in some ways, you could say one is weaker than the other in certain circumstances because we're not the same. If you're looking at traditionally like man and woman, let's say, to make it easier, but we know that we have both within us, okay? So in certain circumstances, the masculine energy might be stronger. In other circumstances, the feminine energy might be stronger. And we can get into this play of like, who's going to be on top and who's going to be the weak one, and that's like the shadow of it. And then when you're in that, then you want to react because you want to be on top. How dare they do that to you and make you feel weak? And then you have this battle of this competition, and we need a hierarchy. We need this to be like this and this. And we're really moving away from that in our evolution because we're moving towards more true balance. And true balance doesn't mean, oh, well, now the feminine needs to be number one and needs to rule over everything. Like that's not true balance. True balance is literally knowing when to ebb and when to flow, knowing when to let the masculine lead, when to let the feminine lead. And that's within us, literally. Knowing that in yourself and knowing that with that strength of a certain energy at a certain time, there's a responsibility to the other energy and being able to elevate the other energy, or it's not about lowering yourself either. It's not about, oh, well, I need to submit so that they can like be higher. And even looking within your own self, it's about knowing that when you are in the position of strength in that circumstance, that you're able to position yourself in a way to allow the weaker energy to be able to rise up. And then you're just always growing, rising more and more and more. So this is about like when we're dealing with the shadow of this, it's like the survival of the fittest, right? Like, oh, well, if you're tough enough, if you're do it good enough, then you're gonna make it. And we're evolving away from that. And it's the extreme polarities. So we are gonna see things change in society and in our life that are going to help us create more balance. And also working on balancing these energies within ourselves because we all carry both within us. And there is the two ways that this energy can really express in the shadow through gene keys. So there's this over emotional way that it can express, which is not trusting your heart's guidance, your intuition, and not trusting others because now you're on like this defensive. I can't trust anybody because they're always trying to take advantage of me or whatever. You're the victim, right? Or there's a way of expressing in cruelty, which is trying to get at the person that the man they were trying to be ahead of me, so I'm gonna take them down. Like, how is that gonna work for the earth that we want to create? It's not. So you can't go out and try to attack the perpetrator because then you're still a victim as well. Who wants to be a victim? Nobody. So the animal, because I have been playing in the dream. So every gene key has 3 animals associated with it. It's magical. I'm not an expert at it yet. I'm still learning a lot, but I want to bring in the animal piece because maybe you'll see some things click in your own way of looking at this animal. And I also have, if you want, you can message me after. I can give you like a screenshot of that animal's message because it like there's a channeled message with it. It's really beautifully done, and I can't really recreate it. It's just very beautifully done. You'd have to read it. And I can send that to you too. So I'm just gonna make a couple little points on it. For this shadow, the animal is the jellyfish, which I think is so cool. So just feel into like, what do you even think about when you hear a jellyfish? This animal is part of the unifiers. So in the dream arc, the animals all have their different categories. So these are one of the unifiers. And the fear associated with this, because it's a fear key, because it's associated with the shadow of weakness, is the fear of asking for support. So are we weak because we need support? No, we're not, because we're humans. We're interdependent on each other. It's the best way to be. It's the way we have to be. A couple notes I got from the jellyfish is about celebrating our diversity, being humble, and being a bridge, being a network. We're a family, right? Another thing it said in the dream arc for the jellyfish was that it was the jellyfish are like the mycelium of the sea, which I thought that was really interesting. I've never looked at jellyfish like that before. So yeah, that's the jellyfish. You can kind of see if that comes into your life in different ways around weakness. So the gift of the 37 is equality. And this is about seeing how we are all a family. We are literally all a human family. It's about not having any more hierarchies, at least not in the traditional sense that we have seen them now. It's about us being all in our own unique power together to create beautiful things and be in harmony. It's not equality. Right now because we're in this like huge shift of, we've seen a lot in politics, a big imbalance in the opposite direction. So it's like, we got to create more equality. And in that equality, we're going to sort of have these give out things to accommodate the victims of the world, which is not the correct way to go about it, because then you're really instilling more victimhood into everything. It's about knowing our power and our place. So it's not equality, and I think the way that it's being portrayed a lot right now, like, oh, we need equality in the workplace and equality, and it's like, yeah, we need equality, but it's not to feed the victim of us. It's to raise us into our all of our individual power together. So this is also seeing how we relate to each other as a family, even if we aren't related. It's literally about changing that way that we see everybody, seeing everybody like family. You know, how can we have that perception as we go through life? What if we saw every single person as a brother or sister, or a cousin, or someone that is actually family to us? And when you give, you receive. There's a back and forth, and you don't have to necessarily expect that, oh, if I gave, then you should do this and have these stipulations. Because remember, this is about the Christ consciousness energy. And it's pure. It is compassion and pure heart-led love without expectation. And how we can just strive to be more like that. Um, and we're all connected. So when you help somebody, you help yourself, because we're all connected. So the animal associated with the gift is the dog, which I love. I love dogs. I'm a year of the dog in the Chinese zodiac, and so are my daughters. So I love a good dog energy. But these are the healers. They're part of the healers category. And their little message is equanimity, cheerful equanimity. And it says in there, I took like a couple little like pieces out of its message. So it says, we are a reminder of the power of family and forgiveness. How can deep forgiveness heal your family relationships and even beyond your blood family? We protect you and we open you up. I mean, think of a dog. A dog just cracks you right open. They don't care what you've done. They don't care who you are. Like, they're just gonna love you, and they're always gonna be there for you. There's a reason why, like, dogs and humans have this incredible bond. They are healing, you know. They show us a lot of how to be unconditional. So it's really beautiful. And the last thing I have in here is approach your family and community with an open heart. And that's how we can achieve equality. So the city, which is the highest expression, it's like the enlightened state of this gene key, is tenderness. And essentially, this is about dealing with our own inner pains and our traumas like a mother would to their child. And I believe he referenced like Mother Mary to Jesus Christ energy, and thinking about that tenderness and how can we approach our own pain with that tender heart. And then when we can do that for ourselves, then we for sure can do it for other people, because it's much harder to do it for yourself, honestly. Um, and yeah, being being tender, just being tender with ourselves. And the animal for tenderness is the sparrow. So that it's always a bird for the city, the vision key. And it's also a unifier, and it's about the vision of communal tenderness. And it says, time to turn to others for support. So again, this idea of creating a network with each other where there is no need to feel weak. There's no need to feel outcast. It's just being able to reach out, and someone's going to be there to grab on, and vice versa. And then this was a quote from it directly, is working from a vision of tenderness, you can draw upon the strength of the many. So I think that when you hold that frequency, you actually are holding the highest strength and with that you can really affect to have a ripple effect into the world, you know, starting with yourself and your family and your community, and it just ripples out. So let me see what else I have here for you guys. Yeah, it's a lot. I wanted to talk a little bit before we go into our, open it up for us all to talk. Um, the remembrance of, because this was something I was thinking about the other day, of our evolution and where we're at, and the responsibility of this awakening time for humanity. Um, we're all in the most perfect aligned place that we can be in our journey, whether that's, you don't have to be enlightened, okay? We're all in like the perfect timing. We're all, and I feel like there's such a collective awakening to these like universal love and energy and how we create our reality. And because we're realizing these things, our ability to tap into our free will is stronger than it's been maybe ever, but definitely for a very, very long time. And from that, we're going to feel like we have more control over our life, which is beautiful. And we can actually do more with our life and see more quick changes in the world because we're all like thinking we are controlling our reality. And so we're doing all these things. So with that is the responsibility though, to not be the victim, to not be the, give into the idea of just, well, I can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna sit back and like, oh, well, that's happened because of that. And I have nothing to do with that. It's like really being able to step into like, wow, I can be like really present with this moment and I can utilize everything that I know right now and everything that's being given to me, and I can create more with it. I can open up to my purpose more and more and more, like never before. People are able to tap into their purpose, if you want to call it that, or just their ability to expand, or their ability to have an impact. It's just getting exponentially wider. And it's not even about like influencing a bunch of people. It's just like your ability to be more involved in your own life is greater. And as we're going into these new cycles, I think that's just an important thing to think about, because I can look back in astrology and be like, what happened 168 years ago when Neptune went into Aries last? And it'll tell me, well, there was this and this, and maybe there was a war, and there was this. Honestly, I haven't looked at it. I probably should look at it. I will, but I haven't looked at it yet. But I was thinking, like, it's not going to be quite the same though. We're like overall the cycle is much different. So even though we can look back at these cycles and see these patterns, which we should do because it's very helpful, just knowing that like it's on like another plane of that. So there's like kind of a an unknown factor, but like a positive unknown factor that's been introduced. Like we have factor X now involved in the equation. So how are we going to navigate this new reality? So it's exciting, but it's also requiring us to continue to step up, do what you got to do. You hear the voice, you better listen to it. You got to get rid of the thing, you better get rid of it. Like, we're all going to mess up. We're all going to take steps backwards, but we can't look at it like a step backwards. We got to be like, okay, I messed up. I definitely reacted how I shouldn't have reacted. Definitely being a child, but I can see it now. Okay, cool. How can I like take the next step and just keep taking the next step? And I was telling Viv in her new moon circle, and that just came to me when you asked me the thing. It was like being able to look at it like you're a baby and you're just here. And keeping that innocence and keeping that curiosity because we are like babies of the awakening process. We're babies of the golden age. This is the baby time of the golden age. It's like, I don't know, it's like impregnated in the womb of the golden age. That's where we're at right now. Like it's not here, but it's like it's bubbling in there. It's the cells are multiplying. So yeah, it's exciting. Okay, you guys. Who wants to talk? Tell me what's going on. How are you feeling? I feel like I talked a lot, so I'm gonna be quiet. Anybody? Anybody out there?
Thank you, buddy. Oh, sorry, guys.
What's up, Adrian? Oh, Adrian, do you want to talk? I know you have the little babies running around.
I can say hi real quick. Here's one baby. This is
Hi.
Brooke.
Oh my
Hi. I
God.
only heard about half of it because
That's
my other
okay.
little friend Jay here. Do you want to say hi to my friends? Melanie, can you hold baby Brooke? There we go. These are my friends. Come say hi. Say
What's
hi.
up?
This is Nicole. Can you say hi, Nicole? This is 80's friend. It's okay if you're shy. There's a Brookie. And there's a Melanie. That's grandma.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, so sorry, I only heard about half of it because we've
That's
got
okay.
fun little children running around, but I wanted to join at least. I'll probably listen to it later. So,
I'm glad you're here. Yeah, the
yeah,
recording I'll send the recording.
awesome.
You're all good.
Yeah, that's about all I can say right now because we're
No
about to
worries,
go for a
Adrian.
walk. So, but I'll
Enjoy
say
your
bye to
walk.
everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole.
Bye. Enjoy your
Bye.
day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Daddy popped in, so cute.
Thank you. Those are my sweethearts. Bye, guys.
Oh, they're so lucky.
Thank you. I'm lucky too.
Well,
Bye, everyone.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Bye. So I am a Pisces, and although it hasn't always been easy, I love I love Pisces energy. I really do. Um, I am also a lot of Virgo, so kind of the opposing forces there, like complete opposite. And my Virgo really needs my Pisces, and my Pisces needs my Virgo. So, yeah, I feel like I related to everything you said, new beginnings and endings, everything feeling different. Absolutely. I feel that like everything feels completely different for me. It's like so wild being a Pisces. And I'm sorry I look
I
crazy
love
right
it. You
now.
look cute. It's like Christmas
um,
shirt.
yeah, Nicole and I always joke we don't have any tattoos because I don't stay like that consistent. I'm like, I couldn't imagine where I am right now a few years ago, like when I was just getting into the juicing and I was doing liquidarianism stuff, like to imagine that I'm here now, like eating in this way, like having this different, I mean, these different perspectives. It's just like all different, like you said. And my shirt says, with women, not the system. And on the back, it says, birth belongs to women, which I got from my midwife, which was a cool,
That's
better
cute.
than my elf shirt, right? From Christmas. But yeah, I'm over here momming it and loving it. But it means that I just don't get a lot of time on my appearance right now. So, um, I do want to get my hair done, like just to like get a new beginning and like a new sort of energy going and just feel better. But yeah, family, all about that family. Um, Feeling really like really soaking in that these are the best days of my life. Like just getting to be here with my family and seeing my dreams come true with the connections that I have personally made in the community and then watching you guys find them as well. Um, yeah, I related to all of it and super excited. And it's just so exciting. It's like turning on the news, but like a million times better. When you turn on Nicole, you're like, what's about to happen, or what's going on. So thank you. And with that, I'll pass the mic.
Thank you, Jules. I love your share. I think it'd be fun to go and get your hair done. Why not? You know, switch it up.
So I do want to say, like, I literally just went to get so I got in trouble because I went to this hair, I like didn't cancel in time, and they're like, you have to pay the full price because you didn't cancel. I'm like, my baby was sick, so I was like, I feel like that's really unfair, and I didn't sign anything, so I didn't pay for it. And I went somewhere else just like randomly, and my haircut was $25. I was really surprised. Mine and Nina's haircut was $25, and you get what you pay for. So
Oh no.
yeah, she was like $25 total, and I'm like, I was actually holding Violet when she was cutting my hair, and it was not great. So yeah, that would be really good, I think, in this Pisces energy to do that.
Yeah, and I think you're a Virgo rising, so Pisces is your seventh house of relationships. But I feel like, you know, you spice it up, you get a little new vibe going, you're gonna attract different things. You kind of shift your energy and maybe what you bring in and who you align with also could shift. Very fun. Okay, who wants to go next? So you and Rachel are both
Rachel, are you
reaching.
going?
Oh, I don't mind. You go, Viv.
Okay. I love, by the way, how big your tent is. I didn't realize till you stood up. Like, it's huge. It's a huge tent. You have to walk us around. Well, I'm in a phase of life where I thought lots more time. Definitely time to get my hair done. So I do enjoy that. I loved the time when my children were little. They're now 25 and 21. It went really fast. I also was going through a divorce at the time, so it was like massively intense. And I look back and wish I'd done it differently or wish I'd been more present, but also that was just the phase of the journey I was in. And now here I am, in this phase, and it's like it's still a very creative time, just like when you're creating babies and creating routines and building a life, but it's a different kind of creation. So I'm an energy coach. I've written books, I have programs, I'm in this like bringing the ethereal realms down here to the earthly realms and then bringing the earthly realms. It's just this amazing way that I get to spend my time. And Nicole and I were just talking about astrology, and I said, I mean, we've talked about Pluto several times. Like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for Pluto to move into Aquarius. I feel like the energy of the planet of humans is just so creative is the wrong word, like expansive, new, community-based connection, everything you're saying about family and tenderness. I'm like, yeah, this is Pluto and Aquarius. It's not just now. I feel like it's just going to keep going. And also it's messy when we're in that process. And I think a lot of people are feeling that messiness. So yeah, just being tender. That was a great reminder. Brad's daughter, my husband's daughter, is moving into her new place this weekend, and it was just a whole bunch of dramas. It was all happening. And so we've been immersed in family all week. And he's a Pisces, so his birthday was last Sunday. So there's been extra family time. So I'm like, oh my God, love my family, but everybody go do what you need to do for a little bit and let me just be in my creative vortex. So I don't know. I don't really know what else to share. I really love where I am in this moment of my life. I think it's a sweet space to be in, and feels like a bunch of the harder work is embodied. And so now it's really the play of how do I share that and how do I just let it move through me. So I'm excited for the new beginnings. Bring on this year. Like let's do it. And I love your wisdom, Nicole.
I'm so glad you're here, Viv. Do you want to talk about like for a second, your community that you're building right now?
Oh, the reunion.
Yeah.
Oh, the reunion. Yes, of course. The reunion. It's so funny when we're figuring out our work and our path. I don't know if you guys all have this, but it's like it goes around in spirals and circles, and you're like, I think that's it. No, that's not it. No, I think I'll try this path. No, that's not the path. And you have different iterations of something because the energy shifts. So I started a group right before I did new moon circles in my house for years. And then COVID hit. And right before that, I was doing virtual circles. I just started doing them to bring people in from other areas than just local to be in my new moon circles. And then COVID started. And so we switched everything to virtual. And this group formed that I called my energy gym. And then it morphed into, I don't even know, all these other names. And then when Pluto moved into Aquarius in November, I'm like, it's not the right frequency. There's a different feeling that I want to it. And so the reunion came from that. It's how do we trust in souls, finding those souls that they want to travel with and connect with? And, how do I create spaces where people from around the world can drop in and get to know each other? So the reunion is the new moon circle each month, and then I do a guided energy attunement, and it's just going to grow. It's just this is the first month, so Nicole was just on the new moon circle with me right before this one. I'm like, we're seeding it. We're seeding it right now in the new moon in Pisces with all the Aries energy about to it's just gonna it's just gonna be this incredible global grid that I'm so excited about. So yeah,
It's so,
thanks for letting me
good.
share that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you, Viv. Viv has the best meditations on Insight Timer for anybody that's into a guided meditation. And you heard her voice. It's so soothing. It's like a mother just rocking you in this meditative state. It's very nurturing and beautiful. So you can find her there. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Oh, and really quick, Viv, you were a Pisces is your 11th house, right? Yeah, because Aquarius is your 10th house. So Pisces is your 11th house. So you're like, maybe. No. And so this is your seventh. Yeah, yeah, it's your 11th house. Okay. No worries, Frida. No worries, Frida. Um, so this is about community as well. So it's perfect that you are starting the reunion in Pisces season and just kicking it off with the Pisces new moon when that's your 11th house. So like it's totally aligned. It's perfect. It's so perfect. So yeah, just so you know, that's where everything's at. It's in your 11th house of groups, friends, community. So you're right on time. Love that. Okay. Okay, Rachel, if you want to share.
Hey, I love that. It's so beautiful. And just the whole community thing as well, and opening up to family as well. And just just the expansion of my community just even this year feels so heartwarming for me, I think. So the other day, after I missed my meeting with you, Nicole, I decided that I would go and pull some oracle cards, which I haven't done for ages. And I never used this deck. I don't even really know why I bought this deck. I kind of liked the artwork at the time, but yeah, I just never ever used this deck. Anyway, it's called Goddess Love. So I decided to pull a few cards out and do, the whole basic 3 card spread with the past, future, or past, present, and future. So this is my present card. So it's the reflection card, and it says healing transformation, which is really where I'm sitting right now, because I'm deep in a place of healing with this fast that I'm doing, and not really going out and doing anything. I'm feeling, yeah, very inward at the moment. And then my past card was hope. So out of darkness comes light. And then my future card is enlightenment. Let goddess light fill you. So I'm really feeling into those cards right now. And it's just kind of given me, I don't know, maybe a new love for these cards as well. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more driven towards my future goals right now. The other day, I took some of my earrings to a shop in a town close by. And someone that is part of my in real life community is setting up a community. So she's just setting up a little mind, I can't remember what she's calling it, a mind, body, spirit, or something of that nature. And wanting to have regular markets as well. So, you know, once upon a time, I would have been way too fearful to put my hand up for anything but being in the background. So I've always been part of events and been part of the creative aspect of events and little festivals, and having really good vision as to the direction they're going to take, but I've always hidden in the background. So I've actually put my hand up to do a meditation. So we'll see. That's pretty brave of me. Anyway, I'm going to move more into teaching as well very soon. Just need to wait till I get out of this fast that I'm in at the moment, because I just don't know if I've got the energy to be too active. But yeah, lots of new beginnings I'm feeling are happening, and yeah, shedding a lot of the old at the moment too. Anyway, I don't know if I've got anything else to say, but also like you, Viv, except my children are younger and they still do live with me. It's really nice. Mine are in their teens now. I've got a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old. So it's just really nice to be able to find a different rhythm and a different pace with my life, and just to have a lot more alone time feels really nice as well, because my children live in a house. So they live in their dad's house. I'm living in the yard of their dad's house. I'm not with their dad. I haven't been for 11 years now, but I'm living in his yard in a tent. And my partner is a Pisces too.
No way. My partner's a Pisces. Viv's partner's a Pisces.
Hold on. You live with your partner in a tent in your ex-husband's house, in his garden? That is like incredible. That's incredible. There's no way, even though we're on better relationships right now, I can't imagine my new husband and I living in the property of my ex-husband. He'd be like, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I would not be able to.
Well done.
There'd be no way.
Well done. Yeah.
It's been 11 years. I
Bravo.
don't know if it's been for you, Viv, but someone said to me after
14, I
5
think.
years. Okay.
Yeah.
I just,
5 years.
it's challenging to try and make it work.
Yeah.
Just for my children.
Good for you. Oh, so good. I'm excited you're going to be doing meditations too. And what do you teach? You said you're going to
Kundalini
start
yoga.
teaching. Ah, my favorite kind of yoga. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Can you host? Can you host a workshop on that? That would be so amazing. We had a yoga instructor in here, and she's a great friend of mine, and she broke her shoulder recently. So she hasn't been doing in the divine family, she hasn't been doing her classes, and I really miss it.
Yeah, I reckon I could do that. I'll talk to you.
Yay! Okay,
Awesome.
sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
I think it's so good. Like like, because you were saying too how you would really crave that in-person community, and I think this is so beautiful and could be a doorway to, even if it's not with this community, meeting people and making those different connections and expanding that. And I know how that feels. I currently feel very isolated in where I live physically as well, because I don't really know anybody. I don't know anybody that I really relate to, at least, and I don't even know where to meet people, you know? So I know how hard and just frustrating that is.
My town, so there are little openings that may not always feel comfortable, and there's definitely, people are definitely not completely aligned to me in any way, but there are similarities in places that I can make things work.
Yeah.
I live in the carnivore.
You live where? In the what?
I live in the carnivore. If I can make that work, I can make anything work, I think.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. I love the cards you pulled. I think that's so magical as well, and so aligned with.
And I can't remember where Pisces is with me.
I have your
idea.
chart. It's your 10th house. So it
My
is
10th.
shining your gifts into the world, career, sharing who, it's like the 10th house is the very top. So it's like the sun at high noon, you can't miss it. It's just there, and that's that energy. So even though you're in an inward time, it's like from that is coming this full ability to take what you're brewing inside and aligning to within yourself so that you can share it out to others and they can witness you.
Yeah. Beautiful. And it's funny because I've actually been incredibly distracted. I've done something I never do. I downloaded games onto my phone. I've been playing these stupid games, and I even got sucked into paying money because I wanted extra vibes. It is so that I deleted all of them this morning. I thought, this is ridiculous. Who am I?
That's so funny.
I call that Netflix, and I go down that rabbit hole way too often. So it's the same thing. It's like a zoning out, Good job deleting it. That was exciting. And you say you deleted it?
Yes, it was taking over. It was taking over.
Yeah,
It was
but you cleaned it up now. Good job.
too much. And then when I did it, I felt empty. I had like a moment of anxiety, and I thought, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Oh, this stupid attachment to this silly game.
So
So
funny.
silly.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm
so good.
Tapping into the inner child for a little bit.
All right, I have to go. I haven't eaten yet. This was so beautiful. I'm so happy I got to meet you, Rachel. It was lovely. And Frida. Thanks, Nicole. Your wisdom. You're just incredible. I love you so much.
I love you. Thank you for being here. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
dinner.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Frida. Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you soon. All right. I guess we'll wrap up. And yep,
thank you so much.
you're so welcome. Thank you for coming. And I'm really glad that you came, and everybody that came. It was really great to see all of you. And I'm excited to talk to you this weekend.
I'll be back online in an hour and a half for the support group as well.
Oh yeah. I was telling them, I was like, we have because Jules was saying that she wanted to do another support group for someone who can't make it like on a weekend or something. And I was like, you have to do one that Rachel can come to because or anybody that's overseas would be easier. Um, she's like, yes, definitely. So they made it happen really fast. That was on Wednesday. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. Yay. All right. Enjoy your,
I'm
is it
gonna go and
lunchtime?
grab some.
Okay. Perfect.
I talk to my
Perfect.
let them
Perfect.
know I'm.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming. Enjoy the new moon. I'll talk to
Oh
you.
my God. Mwah.
Bye.